Mark, last time you were here, we looked at your drinking. We talked about your recent drinking. We did some tests and looked at the results of the tests. We don't need to go over that again because we had a good discussion about that. And you decided that you really want to do something about this, probably to stop drinking for the foreseeable future. And I then asked you to bring along somebody, to think of somebody that you trust, who cares about you and who you think would be willing to help you.
Yes.
And you've brought along your sister Sally today, and so we're going to have a discussion today about what that's going to look like, how we're going to go forward from here. So really, the way of looking at it is that we're looking at where are you now, where do you want to be, and how are you going to get there. And we're going to keep that kind of little thing in mind throughout what we're doing. And the how do you want to get there involves the question of what are you going to do, and most importantly, who's going to help you to do it. So thank you, Sally, for coming along, and tell us if that was your understanding of how we were going to...
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was expecting, yes.
Okay, and what about you, Sally?
Well, I was just relieved to be asked to come along, really, so that's good to have that explanation. Yeah.
Okay, good. So the point of it, as I say, is that as we've discussed and as you've said, you know, you want to be involved, is that people are going to be doing much better if they have around them people who care about them and who can help them to get to where they want to be. In other words, to get off the alcohol, to stop drinking and to stay off the alcohol. And I think possibly the best thing to do is to start right away looking at who those people are going to be. And once we've looked at who the best people are going to be, we can start to make a plan about how everybody's going to help.
Okay.
And the people that we want to have in this thing we're going to call a network are going to be people, obviously, that you want to have there, that Sally thinks agrees is a good idea, because everybody in the network is there to support each other. And for the duration of this treatment, if you like to call it that, I'm going to be part of the network as well. But in the future, your network will continue without me. So you will be able to carry on in the future under your own steam with those people who are going to support you. You're all going to support each other, maybe with new people.
Okay.
So if you've kind of got the idea of what it is we're trying to do, it's useful just to put it down on paper so that we all are seeing the same thing and we're all clear about it. So we've obviously got Mark. And Sally, you're saying it's good to be involved.
Yeah, we've been worried about it for a long time. I want to be involved.
You want to be involved, and you want Sally to be involved.
Yes,
so we're going to put Sally right here as a strong support. And we'll come on to talking about what particular ways you're going to be able to support Mark. And that support really needs to be a kind of two-way thing. Okay, that Mark says, this is helpful for me, and Sally also says, this is helpful for me to be helpful for you. So it's all kind of very interactive between us. So what about other people here who maybe not as strong a relationship as Sally, or maybe a stronger relationship, but people who care about you, who you care about, who you trust,
Okay.
who you feel respect you. All of those kind of things that you would want from somebody who is in a position to help you. And think about friends and family, and we don't need to think of too many. And Sally, do you want to help here?
I suppose it's mainly family.
Okay.
There's my mum, who I
Okay.
see a couple of times a week.
Right, okay. And your mum knows about your drinking?
Yeah, she certainly does.
Okay. And what's her attitude to you coming here for treatment?
Well, she's glad I've decided to do something. So
Right.
she's pleased that I'm doing something.
Right. And you mention your mum because she cares about you. And you see her a couple of times a week, so she's available. What do you think about whether she would say yes, I'll help?
I think she would. I
Okay.
think she would. Yeah.
Great. Let's put her name down.
I think she would too. It'll make her feel better to be
She-
part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, she'd prefer to be involved in it, I think.
And you told me your mum's name's June.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to put mother here so we know. I'm going to put sister here so we know. And I'm going to call you the focal person because the focus is always on your drinking or your stopping drinking.
Yeah.
This is what we're all here for, to help you stop drinking. And we need to come back to that continually.
Yeah, there's my partner, my girlfriend, Marie.
Marie. And what's Marie's attitude to the drinking, the not drinking? What would she feel?
She really hates me drinking.
Right. So she's very supportive of you not drinking.
Yes.
Wants to be there for you when you're not drinking.
Yes.
Okay, lovely. That's a pretty good network. Anyone else you want to put in there?
There's Mick.
Who's Nick?
He's probably my best friend.
Long term?
Yes, long
Friend?
time. Yeah, known each other 20 years.
What's Mick's drinking like?
Mick likes a drink.
Okay. Tell me what you mean by that.
Well, Mick and I we drink together
I see.
quite a bit.
Okay. Okay, so we'll have some conversation about how Mick can support you, because the key thing about people here is they absolutely have to be committed to your goal. So there's nobody in your network who's going to say, oh, come on, let's have a day off, one drink won't hurt. This is people who are expressing to you their belief that you can stay off the alcohol.
Right, okay. Yeah, he's probably not great to be involved in.
Okay, so what we might do is we'll put a little circle round him, like that kind of thing, because Mick's somebody that he's an important person in your life, but he may not be the best to be in this network that is absolutely about supporting your not drinking. And so it may be that people in the network are going to help you to explain to Mick.
That's what I was thinking.
Were you? Tell me more about that, Sally.
Well, I think mixed drinking is different to yours, but I can imagine that kind of camaraderie between the two of you. If Mick was lonely, you were having a weak moment, that a drinking event could quite easily occur. But if Mick knew how important it was and we spoke to him about that and the aim of this, then he might manage that differently, and we might be able to help Mick too.
Yeah. It's difficult to imagine seeing him without drinking, because it's what we spend most of the time when we're together. That's what we're doing, I suppose. But he's such a good friend.
We're not talking about you cutting off ties with your good friends, but what Sally has just said is a perfect scenario for us to plan for, because what you're describing is you're describing Mick as a bit of a high risk situation there, and what you're going to want the network to do together is to plan, what do you do about Mick? You want to maintain your friendship, you want to make clear to him you're not drinking, you want to make clear that you want to see him, and you want to make clear that you're not going to be drinking with him.
Yeah, okay.
So that's an ideal example you've given, Sally, of how the network will go forward, planning the activities and the kind of support that you will get from the network. There's practical support, doing things together. There's emotional support where people in the network are saying to you, we know you can do this, and we know that that we need to help you in order to do this. So you're giving a nice example of different kinds of support. So that's what we'll be moving on to. This is a nice little network where you've got girlfriend, sister, mother. We can come back, maybe Mick thinks, cool, this is a good idea, why don't I stop drinking as well, and then we'll have a think about that. There may be other people that we want to bring into the network in that kind of a way. Okay, how does that sound?
Sounds really hopeful.
Yeah, it sounds like a good start.
Great.